This is Soba IDP Camp, located 10 miles from the capital, Khartoum. In a barren desert where the heat is very intense, the temperature rises above 100 degrees at all times. But when it rains, the rain washes away everything, making life extremely terrible for these internally displaced people. Opened many years back during the Civil War, Soba has been a home to displaced people from southern Sudan, near the mountain, and other parts of Sudan. It has rained for consecutive days, pouring lots of inches of rain in a short time. Most of the passes leading to the camp are flooded. Muddy shelters are destroyed. Everyone is doing something, even children. While rain increases the adversity of this place, it also provides an ephemeral excitement for children to get out and be themselves in the open. These children are enjoying what is a disaster to their parents. Ibrahim and his sons are aware the rain is coming back soon, and they are not taking any chances. While racing with time to put back their destroyed shelter, Ibrahim doesn't want his family to spend another night without a shelter. It has rained for 2 days, said Ibrahim. Many of these people have been in this deplorable situation for more than 10 years. After 2 years into the peace that ended the longest war in the continent signed, they are still here. According to Comprehensive Peace Agreement (CPA), repatriation should start 6 months after the signing. The people in Soba are not technically refugees, they are internally displaced persons (IDP). However, an urgent need for them to go home is priority. These people have endured the situation for more than a decade. Therefore, the packing up and going home now that the peace has arrived shouldn't be an issue. And an enthusiastic feeling to rush home is apparently obvious here. The question is, why? To them, the peace might have been signed, but they are not really sure if the behavior of the NCP-led government toward them has changed. They have to hide their true feelings about going back to southern Sudan. In retrospect, the only way to survive in Khartoum was to disengage yourself from the activities happening in southern Sudan. Otherwise, if you are caught knowing more about what is happening in southern Sudan, you could end up as suspect, and that has a great consequences. The peace has arrived 2 years ago. They are not openly talking about it, let alone going back home. This is because they fear being targeted by Khartoum. Khartoum has a great fear South will vote for secession during the referendum. Detaining these southern Sunnis in the camp could at least prevent them from participating. Asking this woman whether she is aware of the CPA that was signed 2 years ago in Kenya, her body language tells you why. Do you know Sudan is at peace now? No. I never heard of that. Have you ever asked to know? No. Do you know there is no more war in southern Sudan? No, I never heard of that, she said. I had to assure them that I am not a government agent. After I spoke to them in their native language, they opened up a little bit. We want to go back to South Sudan, but we have no money. We work here only to survive, this woman said.
السير كان قديم بتاع جدودنا ذاك تلقى مثلا ننظفه عشان نقدر نقول اولاد اقوى من الشمس طبعا بلد حجار يعني بلد ما رديه كده ومشينا ما شاء الله ما شاء الله ونحمد الله يعني بين 11.
This man has been here for a long time. Now that the peace is there, he is going back to near the mountain. He went in April for a visit. He and his family are moving back to Nuba Mountain for good. It is obvious these people are physically and mentally tired of this place. They are more than ready to go home. South Sudan, that is.
أنا من جنوب. من وين في الجنوب؟ من جوبا هنا. من جوبا أتمنى. جوبا أتوب منطقة. في كوبريس مثلا.
The peace has brought a rare unity among Southern Sunnis and people who, you can say, culturally are otherwise. We have no problem, Karim said. Because of the peace in the Sudan, we start having rain frequently.
ناس اخواني سلام حبابه يزور شغله اي ما عندنا مشكله يا اخو سلام معانا 100% سلام احنا داري سلام احنا كثير السلام والمطر ذاته بطل سلام جات يوم السلام في ذات المطر دي تعرف السلام في الرحمه ذاته يعني يوم السلام المطر جات كل السودان ما هنا دنقل دي لك 50 سنه في مطر دنقل غرقان كم ما بيجي مطر ذاته السعد هسه في السلام ده في السلام ده ايوه نحن مبسوطين جدا والله بالسلام مبسوطين جدا والله هللويا ايوه
ده كل حالنا احنا قاعدين بلدنا وعايزين سوا بس ما شفت حالنا ما في اي مشكله
ما شاء الله الجنوبيين
كله سوا في شنو مع سلام جاء في زول كان
هذا شايفينها
من بعد سلام ما في اي مشكله
Whether they are united or not. The people of this camp all want to go home. They just need someone to take care of these responsibilities. It had been raining here for almost 2 days and it floods almost every house here. And have been talking to the people who live here. They all been telling us that the biggest problem is rain, because once it's rained, the houses that they build are not compatible to stand up to the rain. And also on top of that, I have been asking them also on how they heard about the peace. Of course, the peace in Sudan now is everywhere, and many of them are telling us that if they get chance, they are very willing to go back to their constituencies, to their places, to their states where they came from. But the biggest problem that all of them have mentioned is the financial problem. Many of them came here 10, 11 or 12 years ago, and now they have bigger family than they had before, and it becomes a problem for them to be able to get enough money to transport themselves back to their places. So they are asking the government if for any way that they can get help financially. The first thing is they can get transportation back to their places. I've talked to several of them. Some of them, especially younger kids, are not really sure about where they come from, because many of them were born here and they are not really keen of going back, but some of them did say that they have a curiosity to go back and see where they really came from, especially the ancestors.